Welcome. I'm Phil Wexler, and I'm here with some fun people tonight, including Mr. Alex Myers, my partner in crime and the MC host of all this wonderfulness.
Hi,
And
everyone.
that's him over there chilling. And we got another friend of ours here that's a business partner in the best way possible, and that is Ashley with Ignite Social. Woohoo!
I mean, one of the best things to happen to our businesses.
Absolutely.
I mean,
Oh, you guys are
seriously.
And
so
Alex is the
sweet.
one that
Cheers.
introduced me to you, and I think that's
Aw.
just amazing and special. And what we're doing here, this is Origins Unplugged, and we've been playing around with this thing. We recorded a couple podcasts, but haven't really gone anyplace with it. But every single person that I talk to about doing a podcast always says, "Yeah, that sounds great. That sounds amazing." So the short of it is, the whole concept of Origins Unplugged is that when I was a little kid, probably started when I was 11 or 12,
Same maturity level as you are right now.
truly nothing changed in that regard. But what would happen is my dad would literally not even knock on my door. He would go to my room and he'd say, "Philip," and I go, "I'm up." And I just knew that we were going someplace cool. And it would be like a meeting with some, he was bringing me to meetings at 11 and 12 years old.
Wow.
What
And
did
I
your dad
loved it.
do?
He did a lot of things, but mostly business related stuff. And the trick of it was I got to meet all these cool people and their backstory. And I remember going. There's a place called Nathan's, which most people know. It was a famous place for hot dogs, and they're kind of around a little bit now, but they used to be massive. And so I remember going to Coney Island with him one time, and we went upstairs, like through the kitchen, and then up the stairs into this really weird like office, like not really office, and it was Nathan Handwerker's office, and it was the founder's son of Nathan's, and we were just talking about business. I don't even know if he ended up doing business with him, but I just thought it was so cool. Like, how did that actually? There's a person that is behind a brand,
Wow.
and I think that applies to multiple times to the events industry. The industry that we're in, I maintain that there's no such thing as the university of events. It doesn't exist. There's no such thing. Nobody gets to this place and this business straight. They don't go to school, and maybe you go to hotel management school or something like that, but that doesn't bring you to the things that we do and the
Yeah.
things even that you do, Ashley.
Yeah.
And I just thought it'd be cool to have you on to kind of go over your world and your story and what your origin story is. And you're in a different. Tell a little bit about what your little elevator pitch
Yeah.
about what you do, and how you got there. But just start with the what you do.
Thank you.
Start at the beginning, all right?
Yeah.
How'd you get started?
When I was born in a small farm.
Well, no, first, thank you. It's truly an honor to be here. And Phil, just know that I'm so grateful that Alex has connected us. I'm so grateful for the way that we met. It was like truly random. And at that point, like our connection built so quickly with just everything that you're doing in the event space. When I first met Alex, I was like, I want nothing to do with events. I'm kind of here on
I
accident.
said I want nothing to do with Alex.
No.
Because I would think
Both
that.
of those things multiple times.
Good save.
I don't want anything to do with you or events, Alex.
But
Those
isn't
are-
it true? When we first
Yeah.
met, I was like, that's not the journey that I'm on right now. But hey, if it works, then I guess, just keep telling me and we'll make something work. And our relationship has grown so much. Like we do so many projects together. And I can actually say I love the event space now.
Yeah.
It's not something I thought I would ever love.
Before I connected you with him, you were saying,
yeah.
I don't know, give me a few.
Yeah, no,
maybe,
really.
Maybe not.
And it's amazing, just like the presence that we've grown. So regardless, just know I'm very grateful to be here and be a part of this. So thank you for having me on. And I am so excited to be able to share my story, because I don't know if you even know my full story, but
No, as long as you helped me, I wasn't really interested.
Yeah.
All right, you shut
But-
up. Let her tell her story.
So I actually went to school to become a doctor.
Oh my gosh.
I had
Wow.
no interest in ever owning a business. Well, I can't say that. I do believe that I always knew that there was something greater out there for me, but I have my bachelor's degree in biology.
Okay.
I went to school to become a veterinarian. I have done internships at zoos. I worked in ER medicine and literally saved people's pets from dying for years.
Love
I
that.
did surgeries on lions and gorillas, and like
Wow.
my
Cool.
my veterinary experience was absolutely amazing, and it's something that will always hold a special place in my heart. And it was just like that childhood dream that I always wanted to fulfill. I knew I wanted to be a doctor. I wanted to serve people and serve animals and change the world in that way. And it took being in the industry for about 3 years, working tirelessly ER nursing hours to where I would go to work at 6 a.m. and not leave until 7 or 8 p.m. at night with no lunch break.
Sounds
And
a lot like the event business.
yeah, and just got burnt out very, very quickly on top of not getting into veterinary school. And I just didn't understand why. It was like just so confusing to me. And I took some time finally after like my third year to reflect and say, is this really what I'm meant for? And if I don't get into veterinary school, can I imagine doing this the rest of my life, like where I am right now? Because I had already worked my way up very well with where I was in my job. And I was just like, no, there's no way I can continue to do this. And so while I was working as an ER veterinary nurse, I was working nursing hours. So I was like traditional nursing hours, 3 days on and 4 days off. And I was just like hustling, trying to make money. And I ended up taking a part time job during that time while I was kind of figuring everything out with what I wanted to do. I took a part time job with an entrepreneur that we made the connection through a mutual family member. And well, it was a friend of hers, but a family member of mine. And she was building her business from the ground up in permanent makeup. And I decided to just, make a couple $100 a week with her, just doing some stuff on the side, helping her book appointments, keeping things organized. And as I started to see the inside of her business more and learned more and more from her, literally building from the ground up, I then realized, okay, if I'm not meant to be a doctor, then there's something else that's out there for me. And she had asked me to go full time with her from the beginning. And I always said, no, I'm going to go to vet school. Like, we had that relationship where part time was just okay.
Sure, it was enough.
Exactly. And as I just continued to put that more and more into perspective, I was like, I need to change my life, and I this can't be it. So she was my first phone call that I made. I made that decision. I'm going to quit my job in the veterinary industry. I'm not going to go to vet
That's
school
a big
anymore.
decision.
It
You already
was.
committed all
I
this
had
time to one thing and went
yes.
totally a different
I
direction.
mean, literally went to school, got my degree, like literally all of that. My entire life, I said I wanted to be a veterinarian. And like, I had that moment where I was like, I cannot keep doing this. So she was my first phone call I made. And I said, will you take me full time? And she was stunned, absolutely stunned. And she's like, I don't know how we're going to do it, but we're going to figure it out. Let's do it. So I ended up quitting my job and decided to go back to school and get my master's degree in business. I said, I don't know, what's going to happen, but I need to have some sort of business knowledge since I have a degree in biology. Went back to school, got my master's in business, went full time with her, and watching everything happen in and out of her business truly transformed the way that I was thinking operationally on a day-to-day basis. Not only, yes, did I learn a lot in school during that time, but I was able to get hands-on knowledge working alongside her, practically running her business while, she was the face behind her business. She was the master artist. Like, people were paying thousands of dollars just to work with her, but I saw everything on the back end and helped the business scale. And through that, I learned so much. I give so much thanks to her because she really set me up for success. And then at one point, when I thought the business was, growing in another way, we actually nearly doubled. I mean, with her, we were making less than 100 grand a year, like when I had first started. And then by the time like I had done a full year with her full time, she was on track to make $500,000 in the business.
Heck
And
yeah.
we, it was incredible. It
So
was
you say she changed your view, but honestly, like everybody that's in my position or Phil's position needs people like you to help change us. Because we're just, I mean,
yeah.
if you disagree, like we just go all the time. And just having different people to help us organize and get focused and move in the right directions has been great for
it's
me.
funny. My sister has a line and she goes like this. She said, sometimes you just pay the nice man. And what she means by it is you try to bring people around you that are experts at what they do. You may be okay at doing something, but if you just could get somebody that's really, really good and you can pay them money to do that, you just got back a bunch of time, which is all you really have. And like, I think that, you kind of looked at it and said, I'm going to pivot big time. And I think it's admirable. It's unusual. Like, most people don't. They go down
Yeah.
a path and they just, it's what I'm doing. I'm going
Yeah.
that way
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I went that way. And
Yeah.
I'm not going to go make a
Yeah.
180 or a full right turn.
Definitely.
And that's what you did.
It's a very scary decision to make, but for me, I had also said, I'm young, I'm in my 20s.
Yep.
If I'm going to do it, this is the time I need to do it. And I have a lot of faith. I put my trust in God every single day, and I knew deep down there was more that was out there for me, and I needed to follow that direction.
So how did you get to
Ignite Social.
Ignite? Yeah, where'd that come from?
So me and my old boss had worked together so beautifully. And, as you were saying, like, she needed somebody like me. I don't give myself all the credit because she was incredibly talented at what she did, but she was also like the creative behind her entire brand. Her ideas were always ginormous, and like her brand thrived because of who she was and all of the big ideas she had. But she needed somebody like me to like operationally bring it together and like keep the to-do list going and making sure we checked all of our boxes. So I think we worked beautifully together in that way. And the best way I could sum this up was the business was heading in a different direction, and one day it just didn't include me in it.
Okay.
And I have no animosity towards her. Again, it was one of those things where like I was in the moment. I don't know why this is happening to me. I just was let go one day, and I didn't know why that was happening to me, but I just trusted that there was something else out there for me. I had watched her grow in her business. I had become an expert in social media, scaling that business through all of that. And again, learned so much from her that, her and I still have a great relationship. I'm very grateful for that. But I just knew that, okay, now's my time that I need to be a business owner. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm going to figure it out. And within 2 weeks, my now husband and I had talked about it very quickly. And he was just like, the ins and outs of business because you built her entire business on social media. Why can't you help do that for other people? And I was like, I never saw myself doing that, but he was 100% right. And I was like, you know what? The best thing I can do is just try. I'm going to try, and I'm going to build a name for myself, and I'm just going to see what happens and use my expertise to help other people. And within 2 weeks, I had started the Ignite Social brand. I had a plan mapped out in my mind. Again, very like operational and strategic. And I think like me having a science background really helps me bring like that creative side and then the analytical side of things together. But I just like built out an entire business model. I mapped out the way that my business was going to run, and I knew exactly how I was going to pitch things and how I wanted things structured. And it all started from that one idea that I was then like, I need to blow this up. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I need to get this out there that like you need to work with me, and Ignite Social is the best thing you need for your business and your brand. So,
well, it's funny because there's a lot of people that a bunch of times would have said, nah, not for me. I'm going to go work for a social media company. I'm going to go work, intern for somebody, all kinds of other things. And I said it to Alex before we came on. I said, because he said me, I was really happy to actually see. I really like this whole thing.
She's
and
okay.
I said, we were talking about after this, we're going to shoot something else. And you say yes.
Yeah, she's always down.
You say yes.
But like another thing that taps into that you and I have talked about, I mean, at least 20 times, is the fact that she is a creative, which she touched on just now, but she's great at business too.
Yeah.
And most creatives, and
Yeah.
I have over 40 creatives that work for me.
I agree with you.
Most creatives work for me because they're not good at business. It's true.
No,
Like
I can understand.
They can't focus on that one thing, so they need somebody to put them in the right seats on the bus.
As you grow, which you are growing quite a bit, you're hiring people that are really good at this.
Yes.
And that's something that I'm learning, we're learning as a company, and we my own, it's just, you have to put people into position where they can win. You have to put them in the spots where they're going to shine, and they should be doing 80% of the time, they should be doing what they're excellent at.
Yeah.
10% of the time doing what you're good at, and 10% doing the things you have no choice. You got to do. You have no choice. You just got to do them. And it sucks. But at the same time, if your ratio is backwards and you're doing 80% of the things that just, I got to do it, then you can't be great. You can't be great. No time for great. And so I think that what you've done is you put yourself in a position to win, and you're surrounding yourself with people that are bright, shining faces and they're into it, and you have a common purpose, and you say yes, and you say, okay, I don't know how to do this, but we're going to see if we can do that. And I can honestly attribute a lot of the success that we've had as a company is because we say yes. And you filmed some of it. And, I got a guy right now that was at an event that we were at today, the one I was telling you about earlier. And he was attending with his client, and they have a album release party. And the album release party is when? This Saturday. Can we do the virtual graffiti wall this Saturday? We like what you're doing at this other job. Can we do it? My answer is yes. Proviso that I can.
Figure it out when you get off the phone.
Right.
I'm not even here. I'm flying out. But my inclination is yes.
Yeah.
Because when you say yes, you figure it out.
Yeah.
They want to build a human claw machine. A giant claw machine that the kid gets inside, and we raise them up 13 feet in the air, and then they drop them into a ball pit, and they pick up the prizes, and they're blind boxes, and there's some inflatables, all kinds of stuff, and you got to raise them up, and you got to drop them gently onto the ground. And I said yes to this thing, and we have to build it. So now I got to figure it out and make it work. And the funny thing is, when you say yes, a lot of good things happen.
Yeah.
And you decided that this is not a problem. This is a challenge. And I know it sounds like stupid ass corny words, but it's not, because when you look at things as a challenge and you say, okay, I figured out how not to do it. This is how we're going to do it. Because there's a lot of people in your industry that are horrible, horrible people that either are incompetent, or out and out, shady.
Yeah.
And it makes it very difficult as a business person to look at it and go, is this group for real?
Yeah.
Are they truly going to deliver? And even if they don't deliver, are they on the right path? If they fail, are they failing forward?
Right.
Are they learning from the failure?
Right.
And that's what I think is important in business.
Definitely.
And we fail more times than we succeed.
Yeah.
But as long as we succeed really big, mostly we do succeed.
Yeah. But it's the success behind all of our businesses, and what we all share in common is that we love doing it.
Yeah.
Like you're talking about saying yes. Like if you were saying yes, but then you had to figure something out that was horrible and you didn't have fun doing it, even if you're busy and even if you stress out a little bit over it, success for us is about being able to choose where we want to be every day and who we want to be around.
Well, now you're going to the point of sometimes you got to fire your clients.
No, of course.
I have already been there.
We have an interview, and I tell my wedding clients every single time, I'm like, listen, this is to make sure that you vibe with me and I vibe with you. And you should do that with all of your vendors. I don't care if it's your caterer or whoever else. If you don't like the person that you're dealing with, they shouldn't be at the most special day in your life,
Totally.
Yep.
So I think Ashley's okay, so we have her around.
That's right. We keep her around. So, what's the goal for you? Where are you headed?
Yeah.
I know you're headed someplace, and I know that I feel it. I feel the energy of it.
Thank you.
Because we talked about doing, and again, you didn't exactly say, what's the short version of what you do for a business?
Yeah. So we are a full service social media agency that specializes in filming, creating, and posting all of your social media content for you. You started to bring up the fact that there's a lot of people in this industry that aren't good at what they do, or they don't, learn from all of the things that are happening right now in order to become better. And that's one of the reasons why I started Ignite Social, is not just because I know that my team and I are great at what we do, but I value serving other people. And that's where the passion and love comes. I've always had that servant heart. And I really think I look back on it, and I used to literally take care of sick animals for a living.
Sure.
And to be able to serve people in this way, in a way that is their livelihood, their businesses are their livelihood. It's their dreams too. To be able to help make those dreams become reality through the power of social media. For me, I have the same mentality that I wake up every single day. It is a blessing to have breath in my lungs, and I'm going to use every single day to its most in order to, just make the biggest impact.
That's massive. That really is, because, literally, I consistently, that is the right message, because every day I wake up and I can't wait to get out of bed. Sleeping bores me and I don't like it. And I feel like I know I have to sleep and it's a whole thing.
He's
But
there
I
waiting for people
can't
to hit the
wait
pickleball court
to
by
be awake.
6:30 in the
Or the
morning.
paddle court, or the, the swim, or the run, or the gym, or whatever it is, because I'm happy to be alive every day.
Yeah.
And, I joke around, but it's true. Even in the thick of problems, of which we have lots, and they're personal and their business and they're whatever they are, I'm so happy to have the ability to have the problems that they're challenges. It's a big difference. If you look at like, okay, and I always find that for me, when things get really stressed, I have this thing in the back of my head, and it's been a long time, where when I get really overwhelmed and really stressed, I'm like, oh, I'm about to have a breakthrough. And I can't even tell you how many times it's happened. We just had mic trouble just a minute ago. We had a camera trouble just a minute ago. I wasn't sweating it at all. It's just the way it is. We'll figure out a way around it.
Yeah.
And that's funny because that's part of the events industry. The events industry,
It's a big part of the events
you do not have a problem if it's not client facing.
Yeah.
If the problem, it doesn't even, it's just part of the deal. Something is going to go not the way you planned it. You can plan all you want. What's the line, right?
Yeah.
Humans make plans and God laughs.
Yeah.
It's just the way
But
it works.
you tell people, here's your itinerary. It's more of a moving checklist for us.
Right.
We're good at what we do. We have a great team. If the country club needs 20 more minutes in the kitchen, you'll never know, but you'll know that we got through all of your formalities.
Yeah.
Yep. No, absolutely. And that's, that's the fun part about this whole deal, is that it's jazz. It's not a concerto. It just is. There's going to be parts that are orchestrated and perfect, but there's definitely room for jazz in here. And, and I think in your industry too, because if you're not learning, they keep moving the needle on you all the time.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
It's just
totally.
every single day, Meta's going to change it.
Yes.
Or TikTok's going to change
I was just about to say that. Like, you guys deal with change in all different types of aspects, but for us, literally our foundation of what we're building is constantly changing.
Thank
And
God.
it's our job to
Change is
really
the only constant. That's what it is,
understand what is going to be changing and how we can mold it across all of the different types of clients and industries that we work with. So that's why I say, like, when I tell my clients, I promise you, we're looking at everything behind the scenes and we're constantly monitoring everything so that you don't have to worry about it. Leave it in the hands of the experts.
This is what's hitting.
Exactly.
Because every time, both Alex and I are big believers in Gary Vaynerchuk, and the things that Gary talks about all the time is that it's not just simplicity of taking a video and putting it on and magically people are going to react to it. It is science.
Yeah.
It is, what does the thumbnail look like? What does the first line look like? What does the first words out of your mouth look like? What is good about what we're doing right now?
Yeah.
The fact that we're doing a podcast right now means we can chop this up and use it in little tidbits and be able to feed it back. And it's valuable to all three of the different businesses that we're in.
Yes.
And it's a collaborative.
Yeah.
And I honestly believe that podcasting and the concept of this is cool, because we don't need 1 billion people to watch this. We don't need hundreds of people to watch this. We need the right people to look at this and go, oh, this is different. This is something that I can relate to these people. I understand that they have a passion for what they do. And I would like to be involved, full transparency, in people that feel that way about what they do, so that I can just know that I'm taken care of the way I need to be taken care of. And it shines through in what you're doing. It shines through in Alex. Alex literally was just showing me brand new equipment that he keeps investing thousands of dollars in to make his business stand out and be different than other people, and to make his guys have a better platform. On the dumbest note of the universe, I was out with one of my guys this morning and I'm like, man, don't you want to get into a truck and have it spotless when you get inside it and just feel good, even though it's a work truck? And don't you think that the other people that are going to get in that truck, if it's spotless, they're going to feel a lot worse about putting something and leaving it in there as a mess? So it's a pride thing. And he's like, yeah, I'm going to do it. And I just looked at one of the ones he did, and he did it like he meant it.
Is this
And I'm
Jimmy?
like, no, Alex.
Oh, Alex.
Shitty name, but a good guy.
Yeah.
But no, so it's just like, I think it trickles all the way through. When you do it right, eventually and not in your case, but I find that over time, we're finding these people that
Yeah.
really relate to what we do, and we're finding the client base
Yes.
that enjoys it. And, and with your help, and, we'll continue to grow and go much further with this stuff. And I just think it's,
Yeah.
to me, that's where it's at.
Yeah.
That's what makes the difference.
My mentality even coming here was that if my message impacts one person and empowers just a single person to take that leap of faith, to just follow those dreams and just trust that it will work out. Like,
And if it doesn't, life's long.
exactly.
Everyone says life's short. And this is
Everything's
the
a
Tony
learning
Robbins one right now.
experience.
I think it's Tony Robbins. It was, everybody overestimates what they can do in a year and underestimates what they can do in a decade.
Yeah.
It's like, this is long term. It's not short. This is a little character. And it means patience is more important than almost anything. And I don't mean lazy. I mean, it's not a straight path. This is like the 5th or 6th podcast that we've done, and we kept jump starting and not starting and halfway starting and having issues. So we brought in this wonderful podcast team that's behind the scenes with us to try to help us do this thing. And really, it doesn't happen by accident. And we really think that we're onto a trajectory that's going to lead to something in our business and all across the board. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here at 8:30, 9 o'clock at night doing this thing, because I like it. That's why I'm doing it, because it's fun, and I think it's going to lead to cool places for the collective, for all of us.
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
I mean, we're going to be interviewing people that aren't in the events industry, because Phil and I genuinely love origin stories.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, I mean, and as far as just a note about Ashley too, I have brought her to multiple people, and her team to multiple people that are like, oh, you know what? We keep going through different people where we're hiring them for 3 months or 6 months or a year, and they're working in-house and we're paying them a salary. And we really want somebody in-house. We want somebody here every day.
Same thing.
And now,
same thing.
I sent her, the first person I sent her to was West Delray Veterinary. And Dr. Block, he's like the head doc over there. And he was like,
easy for you to communicate with him.
That
was a no-brainer.
I was
He knew this.
thrilled. I was like,
He
oh
knew
my
this.
gosh, this is amazing.
But like, they knew the same people, right?
We did.
But like,
if we brought him on the
within-
podcast, your vet guy, you sat him in here and we started talking about his business and how he started. You telling me that he wouldn't want to just go crazy on it and enjoy it, and wouldn't it be fun?
I'm sure he would be thrilled.
Immediately within a couple of months, like within the first month, oh, how's she doing? Oh, yeah, she's doing great. Her team's great. I still think I might want somebody here full time.
Sure.
Within 2 months, I can never go back, Alex.
Because you're asking to either, if you're a doctor, you're a pretty busy person. So your office manager is going to run your social media, or he's going to run the person that's running your social media. It just doesn't make any sense. And what you can do is you can take, and tell me if I'm wrong, the product knowledge you get from a vet and the product knowledge you get from a dry cleaner, and apply it, and the things you learn from Photo Boys, and mush them all together and go, ooh, that worked over there. It wouldn't work over here. And you put it all together, and because your expertise is not finite. It's growing, and it's learning, and it's mixing it all together.
You nailed it. You cannot excel on social media. Yeah, you deserve that. You deserve that pat on the back, because you cannot excel on social media if you're an expert in what you do and what you specialize in. But if you don't know social media, you're never going to know. You're never going to grow. And yes, Dr. Block has that advantage to where I know the veterinary industry. And of course, I'm sure that definitely helped with my sales pitch when I was trying to secure him. But at the same time,
that only works in the beginning. Then you better prove something.
Of course.
You better give some results.
I will give a huge shout out to one of my stellar creative directors, Ariana. Ariana knows nothing about, well, she does now because she's worked with them for so long, but she knew nothing about the veterinary industry. But she knew what worked well on social media, and she knew how to make amazing content. And even in the shoots that she goes once per month, she learns so much that she has become that in-house person without having to be there every single day. And that's where the expertise comes, and that like feeds into the reason why I believe Ignite Social is special and different, because I strive to not just be that team that's behind the scenes working. I've worked with other marketing companies with my previous job. I've seen what doesn't work. I've seen what works, but mainly a lot of what doesn't work. And I have literally built my business to be all against that and just become a partner to you, not just your marketing team that you're outsourcing to just do the busy work that you don't have time for. My team is meant to serve as your true partner and feel like we're in-house for you without having to be here every single day.
Nah, that makes total sense to me because I'll give you an example. My brother is my partner in business from 30 years plus, and he is technologically challenged, let's just say. So what we did is but he's fantastic at when it comes to a million other things. So should I worry about what he's not good at, or should I put him in a position to win?
Right.
Well, you're helping me put him in a position to win because she's literally creating easy files for him to grab that if he needs an image or a video of something or a link to an Instagram post, he can just go boop, boop, boop and make it simple for him.
Yeah.
And that's important to me. That is what you just said. That's a partnership or a piece of a business to recognize that this is the goal. The goal is to make it easier for our clients to understand what we do. So what we're doing is we're developing these documents that have the images and all this stuff that my client is not my client. My client has a client or they have another client. So most times I don't work for the end user. I don't work for Meta.
Which is what you don't want. You don't want the end user.
And you know what? I
we have an outsized sales team of every single planner that wants to use us. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I don't want to service, I always joke, Mrs. Weinstein and her kid's bar mitzvah. What I want to do is I work for the planner that pulls all the elements together or the production company. And because that planner, that production company has 20 or 30 a year versus Mrs. Weinstein maybe got 2 kids.
Yeah.
Or if I work for American Express, I don't want to work for American Express customer service of Latin America, do their one event in Miami. I want to work for the marketing company for American Express because they're going to also have Red Bull as a client and Apple as a client and all these other companies. So we can be working for them. And I don't need any recognition. I just want to produce, and the people that need to know who we are. And that's the idea. So it's a weird thing. We're not marketing to retail. We're marketing to the companies that do the marketing. And, that's what we're trying to figure out. We're making our social media presence look good. And then so that when people see it, they see it, but trying to find those is the challenge. It's a different sort of a way to look at, how to make a business work. So,
but as you said, other than social media, she's helping Mike with the sales. And that's what we're doing after this podcast is over tonight. We're setting up my new booth. We're setting up 2 of your LED screens, some of my new lighting, and we're building 3 different packages so that Mike has 3 different packages that he could just sell, and I don't have to send him little clips and videos of different pictures.
It's too hard.
Ashley's been helping. Ashley and her 15-person team have been helping us do that and helping us do that with you guys, and it's just
we skipped over a question.
Game changer.
I had said, where do you, what do you think in terms of like what's your length of time that works for you? Because I know people, what are you going to be in 5 years? What in 10 years? What do you like? What are you thinking like next year? What's the next big one for you? Is it an increase in people or is it?
Yeah. So this is my model that I'm currently building out that has proven to be successful so far. And I knew Ignite had something special when we were asked to be on a TV show within not even 2 years in business. We flew out to Oklahoma and we were on Wes Bergman's The Blocks and literally went through an intense boot camp that was filmed in a TV show style for businesses. And I was able to learn from so many other mentors that picked apart my business. And it's funny because even before the TV show, I had other clients that I had worked with or just, made connections with from our business growing so quickly that had said, like, when you're ready for an investor, we're here, we're ready for you. And that was something that I was like, oh my gosh, this is not something I was ready for this soon in business. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go on this TV show, go through this boot camp, just really experience and soak everything in and really understand. And from the mentors that I learned, not only did they pick apart the business and then re-wrap it back together to like take things to the next level. But they were like, you have something special. And if people are trying to invest, is because they want a piece of your pie. And if you were smart, you would hang on to it as much as you can right now until you actually realize that you need an investor to like go to the next level. And I was like, okay, I'm with you. I'm there. And yes, I don't want to say that growth is the forefront of my strategy, because I still have, and I always will have that, um, like the people, my clients and serving will always come first rather than
that's
growth.
really smart.
And if we're not serving people well, then we will never grow. Exactly. And that's what I'm against.
In your industry. That's the problem.
Exactly. And that's what I'm 100% against.
And you know what? I think one of the best testaments to that is referrals, and the other one is retention. Because if you don't have retention, it's really hard to go out and get somebody from scratch that doesn't know who you are or what you are. You're constantly having to prove your worth. But if you're going to somebody that you've already done well and you say, hey, I got you on social and we're organizing all your social. Now let's talk about paid social. They're more likely to buy into paid social.
Right.
And now we're talking about AI, and we're talking about da-da-da. Whatever it is, it's retention. And, you know, we kind of look at it the same sort of way that, you know, if you, that's what I mean about the
corporation with a mom and pop feel.
Yes.
That's what I go for every day.
Yeah.
I got you.
Honestly. I mean, that's how I feel.
I actually love that. And that's what really goes into like, yes, our retention is like, that's when I knew that, okay, we're doing something right. Within the last year, like looking over all of our books while I'm preparing for tax season and everything, like we 4x'd in 1 year.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, this is insane. And our retention is still over 90% from when we first started. So to answer your question, the current model that I'm building out is, I believe that Ignite Social will have a presence in every single state.
I love it.
Yes, we've built out a very strong team, and there's no possible way that we would be able to scale if I was still at the center. And that's something my lovely director of operations is here right now. And her and I have had countless conversations about just like where we are now and how are we going to be able to grow in a healthy way while still keeping our client retention. And I have to remove myself at the center of everything. And although it hurts, now my goal is training every single one of my girls to be fantastic at being the center of the accounts that they're in charge of, and being that communicator, having that same mindset, mentality, and just overall vision for what, you know, I envision for everybody, but then also bringing in their personal twist and their expertise on it too, to just deliver, again, full circle results that make the world of a difference for every single client we serve. And I've already launched Ignite Social in California. So I actually have a fantastic member of my team that is now running accounts out in California for us. And we're building out the same business model of us filming, creating, and posting everything for you. And then now we're also in Texas, like fully touchdown. And
Austin, or where are you?
In San Antonio.
San Antonio.
And first I have the client that comes to me from wherever it is, saying like, hey, I need you guys. And once I have a system to where I find the right creator in their area. Once I connect them, everything's going smoothly. I teach them the Ignite way. I build them in as part of the family. Then I'm going to run ads, and I'm going to get you booked out with clients. And then now I have literally, my girl in California has a whole set of clients that she's managing, where she started with nothing. I had one client come to us in California, and then now we've built her out with a whole team, and I'm going to just grow her team there. So I do believe that Ignite has what it takes to be on a national level. If you ask me like where I imagine ourselves in even just a couple of years, like I would love every person or every business owner that needs a social media presence or needs help with their social media to just have that feeling of like, oh, okay, I guess it's time I call Ignite Social now.
Yeah, and that makes total sense to me. And I think it's really interesting because obviously there's a level of business where it makes sense for you to play, and that level of business absolutely does no time or no propensity to doing that. So if you're able to do it for them, they're just like, my money is worth a lot less than getting this done. So it's easier to pay the nice people,
right,
to just get it done.
Right.
Like my sister's words, because sometimes, like, if once you have proof, social proof, that this is the right thing, this is the right, and obviously it seems to me like for you, it should be reviews and this and referrals.
Which I've been horrible about asking. I know I don't necessarily need to ask people for reviews, but somebody also.
Don't be afraid to ask.
I just don't, like, me too. Like, when I go somewhere and I do something new, I don't think about, oh, let me leave them a great review. Like, if they ask me, I'm like, oh my gosh, yes, I would love.
You think about a bad review. Oh, I don't like this.
My New Year's resolution has literally been, I need to, like, just kindly ask all of our clients, hey, I would love a review from you.
What I try to do is write a lot of really good reviews. We were looking. It was funny. I was looking for a thing that was cool today, and I was like, oh, I like this. I was like, oh, I'll find it by comments. And I was like, oh, I commented on all these things because I feel like if I don't ever comment negative, I just don't comment at all.
Right. I agree. I'm the same way.
Because I don't want to go down that road.
Yeah.
It's a stupid road.
Yeah.
It's not a good place.
Well, I know how it feels too. Getting a positive review, it means the world to me. And if I got a negative review, I'd be devastated.
Well, yes,
I wouldn't.
Well, within reason. If I also know, like, let's say
open yourself up to maybe they're in a bad spot. Maybe they're in a bad place.
Totally.
Or they got a bad taste, or a million other things.
And I am realistic in that way. But still, if I received a bad review, I think I would be like, oh my gosh, okay, this sucks.
Address it.
I would try to address it. And then what needs to change so that this doesn't necessarily happen again.
That's a good thing.
But
that's for firing your clients before you hire them.
Correct.
All that
No, but I mean, seriously, that's that initial meeting, if you don't vibe, if you feel like you could read people.
Yeah, you can definitely read people.
Like if somebody's going to be a handful or not.
Yes.
And I just don't work with them.
No, it's a safer way to go.
It's a very smart thing to do.
I will tell you right here for sure. I will absolutely give you a 5-star review. I'm pretty sure the guy next to me would as well.
4.5.
I know. Thank you.
And, no, truly, because and don't be afraid to ask for the review. It's the right thing to do because, you're loading it up anyhow.
No, thank you.
You're getting a review from somebody that's already in the right state. And, I think it's sort of like the, requirement to do that, to give that review when somebody does right, because there's plenty of people that don't do right. So, you want to encourage that, effort and good behavior and let them grow. So yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
2 thumbs up and 5 stars from me. That's for sure.
Oh, thanks.
But yeah, like I would hope that we can chop this and do good things with it. And it should be good all the way around. It should be good for Ignite. It should be good for Alex. It should be good for Photo Boys as well. And, and that's always the idea with these things. Anything else that you want to add to this little soiree?
No, I'd say just since we're at the beginning right now, mark my words, and just everything that we talk about and everything that we strive for. And I've been doing this. I've had my own company since 2011. So you were in like high school or something. All right. And Phil, how long have you had Photo Boys?
1993.
Okay. So the two things for every business owner, whether you're right now in your 20s or 30s or 42, 43 maybe, right?
Yeah, look
is consistency. Okay. And everybody is just figuring it out. Right. So like whether you're right now,
is real.
It really is. Everybody, if you're 30 years into this and you're a millionaire trying to become 10 million and billionaire, whatever, you're just figuring out same as everybody else.
Yeah.
So we could hold right here for a second, but I want to ask somebody else to come over here. He's hiding in the corner over there. Come on. We want you. Yep. Come on in here. Because you're a part of this thing too. Come out. So what we just did is we like to do spontaneous things around here. And I wanted to bring in my friend over here, Mr. Carlos Marquez, and your company.
Is the Podcast Lounge Studio.
And he's right in Delray.
Right in Delray.
And we're right here in Boynton right now. And we really are. I got introduced to Carlos through my foot doctor. Literally. And he said, man, I'm going to shoot a podcast in this cool studio. I did a bunch of research and I think I got the right guy to blow up my business. And I said, I got a social media team for you too. Let's see how this podcast, I literally said that to him. So let's see how this, and he's got a hell of a business. He's really clever. But the point is that what we're trying to do around here is a collaborative. It's not one thing. And speak a little bit how you got into doing the podcasting thing, because that's what this whole program is about. The origin.
Well, actually, you say something that is really important. I really mean to that is collaborate and put the pieces of the puzzle all together. I used to work for many years as a commercial property manager.
Okay.
And when you're a property manager, you need to,
Sure.
have a lot of contact,
You own a
vendors,
ton of
information.
trades.
Yes.
Yep.
I know how to work together. So, like I say, it works perfect. I met with Dr. Joe,
Yep.
and he put in contact us. But yeah, the whole idea of the podcast is I really consume podcasts since probably for the last 6, 7 years.
Sure.
And I guess this is more people is like doing the transition from regular TV to podcast and social media and everything that you can have on your phone or your tablet on the computer. So I guess it's everything is shifting to that way. So even like a journalist or artist, they want to create their own podcast because they don't have to be following like the rules of like a TV.
Or you can drop somebody in a podcast in 3.5 seconds.
Yes, exactly.
It's so good to me because nobody is one thing. I'm
Yes.
not photo boys. It's just a part of what just a big part of what I do in a company that we're involved in. And, same thing with you guys. But like, it's so cool that you figured out this interesting spot and you're doing something, you're helping us. And we're trying to look at it and say it truly has to be a collaborative. It has to have to work together, including Mariana back there, to make this thing work because we can't do it on our own. We obviously figured out exactly what we were just talking about 5 minutes ago that we were trying to do the podcast in-house and my guys were tired. They worked all day. They don't want to be here at 9 o'clock at night doing this. So by doing this collective, I want this to be really good for you as well. We talked about some other cool things, which is, I think I mentioned it to you, Alex, and I definitely mentioned it to Ashley. Maybe she forgot, but I think this in a smaller version would be ridiculously amazing at a trade show. And if we did like speed dating, speed podcasting, we set up a mini studio, something that's very portable and very movable. And we did 7 minutes of an origin story of an attendee at a trade show and how they got to this plumbing business that they're running. And this is a plumbing expo. And then they run it. We give them content. Then you feed it to them and you figure out how to give it. You chop it up, make it nice for them. Give them a 30-second, a 60-second, and a minute and a half spot.
Maybe a bleacher expo. You know anybody in bleachers?
All that kind of stuff.
So he said this is just one of the companies he's involved in. Coolest thing in the world. I don't know if anybody here has seen people put together bleachers, as
I have
nerdy
now.
as I sound.
Me too. Actually, I used to work for a event company.
It takes hours and hours to put together each bleacher, and these guys come in, and they come in with these massive trailers, some of which they've fabricated and they built on their own, and they press a button, and the bleacher opens up and sets itself up in 5 minutes,
Oh, wow.
That's like a transformer.
Yeah. It's so
15 minutes, one guy sets up 165 seats.
He said he's involved in Photo Boys. Yeah, I mean, this is a massive company where I've had events out in California, and he's gotten photo booths there for me. In New York, he's gotten photo booths there for me. In Georgia, like they're one of the largest photo booth and events companies in the country, in my eyes, from what I've seen over the years.
Right, not that.
And still, the bleacher company is massive. It's ridiculous. So, like, even something there, if we had this mini podcast studio and we brought it around
100%.
to this bleacher expo, like,
it would have been amazing.
Yeah,
literally, I just did it. It's not even. Well, what happened was we just did an event last week, which is called Mobile Staging Conference, or 2 weeks ago, I can't remember. And the people that were putting on the conference were on the top of one of our things that we make called an event deck. So on the top of it is a great view of all these stages and stuff. So I came in the morning, like 9 o'clock in the morning, and they're up there shooting a quick, with a phone, video. And I guess it's going to be used for something or other. But I was thinking in my head exactly what Alex was saying. How cool would it be? He said every attendee, they all own their own business. They all are in the staging business. So they own multiple stages around the country to do events. So get them in an interview. These guys don't do anything on social. They don't do anything on the world. They just get their business from however they get their business, very old school. And yet they're running multi-million-dollar businesses. If they have equipment, they probably have $6-8 million worth of equipment that goes around the country of stage. Each stage costs $500,000 plus to buy. So they have to work them. And how do they get their business? They get it by accident. They did this one festival and they got a job from that one to this one to this one. But if they had a podcast and we put it together in the right way, it applies to every single business. So I think you're about to blow up what you do and expand in your studio. Now, what's your studio like? How many?
Well, actually, we gave, we have like when we put everything together, it was meant to be like a podcast
Mhm.
studio, but then we realized people need other kind of like a content creation, not only podcast. The podcast format is really good because from podcast you can create several like a short.
Sure,
Mhm.
sure.
So you can create from long content several short
Chop
content
'em
for
up. Yep.
social media. I mean, but it's like I said, we have different spaces. We also do remote podcasting, kind of like
Love,
we're doing over here,
love that.
and we start doing some commercial job for people that they don't have the time to be on our studio, so we can go to their spaces and create the content.
So smart, so smart.
Yeah.
And I'm
So
glad you came here. I really think it's super cool to get us off, from the thought process of doing this and jumpstart this thing. And the nice part about it is we're gonna like the collaborative is you guys are gonna chop up this thing and maybe she's doing live edits right now is what Mariana's doing, but at the same time we'll edit that and then we'll give it to Ignite and let them edit to Alex's plus mine and plus theirs. So, and we'll tag you guys in it. So we'll try to make it so it's good for everybody. And that's the idea with this kind of thing is really to do it. And I'm super glad that you guys are here.
and I'm glad. I mean, I'm glad that you contact us, and we are meeting Ashley now.
I want
That
it.
is in the social media industry, and Alex. So it's everybody, and like I said before, I mentioned before, I used to work for an event company for 14 years. So I'm also
It
kind of
feels
like a very
familiar.
familiar,
It's like, yeah, it's
I feel
family.
like a family, yeah.
And that's what it is about this business. It's always family. Like particularly in the staging business, is wild. Like I had all of our equipment is out at events. We have 65 pieces of equipment, and they're all out at events. I don't have a piece of equipment to bring to this trade show. So I call up a guy who bought equipment from us 4 years ago, and I said, David, where's your event deck? He goes, it's in Texas. I go, can you get it to Daytona? When do you need it? Tuesday. He goes, I'll have it there Monday. I'm like, he trucks it across the country, has one of his guys driving for me, and like we literally dust the thing off, put it to work, and people look at it and they go, I go, this is 5 years old, and it's not even mine. It's one of my clients. Like, what? And I was like, oh, he did all this. This is, and my attitude is give David Laporte and Upscale Productions their credit because they deserve flowers. They hooked me up when I needed it, and I think that's awesome. And I really, really appreciate the camaraderie of the businesses that we're in because people they do that all the time. And they say, oh, you need a stage, I'll cover the job for you. You do this job for me. Oh, great, great. And I think that's the new way to do business is there are no competitors from me.
I
No.
love
Everybody is
that
a
you said
future
that.
vendor partner to me.
It's
Yes.
one of the first things you said on this podcast. You just say yes. You figure it out
Yes.
afterwards, you know?
Well, we work together, and
Yeah.
that's the truth. So I have literally have a bleacher job that's going up tomorrow, and I just told you about it.
Yeah.
It's Spire Academy. It's the largest. It's one of the top high schools in the entire country. It's massive, and they're #1 high school basketball team in the entire country. And they have Nike doing an event on their facility, and they need a bleacher. So I could either truck it across the country, or I can have one of my guys do it for us. So we're having a guy who happens to be, a couple hours away from there. He's going to run the bleacher there tomorrow. He's going to do the job, and we're going to white label it, and everybody's
Amazing.
happy.
Yeah.
So when he made money on a day that he wasn't going to make money on a stupid Tuesday, and we're making money on the job, and the client's thrilled. So that's what we try. And Nike's paying for it, so everybody's happy.
Yeah.
Nike could care less
Yeah.
about what I'm charging them. So it's a win, and it's going to look
Yeah.
great, and the job's going to go off well. And ideally, we get good photos and videos from it, and we post it, and we tag everybody in it. And it's
Yeah.
a vendor-partner relationship. Is he my competitor? No, he's not. We're working together.
I love that mindset, and that's as well as the mindset that I strive to have through every part of business that I do. I have so many people that come to me and are like, aren't you worried about how many people do social media? Aren't you worried about all of your competitors and that, everybody can do social media at this point? And I said, that's fine. I really do not worry about a single competitor. I know that there's tons of people out there that do social media and are, there's a lot of bad businesses. There's a lot of good businesses too. And how I think about it is that there's enough to go around to where we can all work
Life is
together
abundant. Thank you.
collaboratively. And my ideal clients are going to find me and work with us because they love Ignite Social.
Yep.
And their ideal clients are going to find them and work with them because they love their business. And we may not be that right fit, and at the end of the day, we're all going to be able to work together in a seamless way. And like, this just proves to show that everybody is built uniquely, but can work together as like a true collaboration. It's amazing.
you can't get rid of me. There's no way you could leave. You can't fire
Well,
me as a client.
he was
at
the
this point.
only one that I've been actually trying to get rid of. Oh, no, I'm just kidding. I could never.
I mean, honestly, that's what we're all here for. I'm super happy you guys went out of your way to come after working the full day. Everybody here worked the full day,
Yeah.
and then we just did a night.
Yeah.
And
We're not even done. We're gonna do a shoot after.
yeah,
this.
we're gonna do a shoot after this, and then I'm gonna go home and pack and fly to Vegas. And actually, no, that's bullshit. I'm gonna go set up 2 event decks tomorrow at Seminole Nation for our client Dane Johns of the Seminole Nation, and that sets up tomorrow. Tomorrow, yeah, that's it. 7:30 in the morning, we go there and set that up, and then I fly out tomorrow night, go to Vegas to a trade show, and then fly to Utah, go have some fun, get my ass back here, and get back to work.
Skiing in Utah, I'm guessing.
Snowboarding, come on.
Snowboarding.
What do I look
Sorry,
like a
sorry.
skier? Come on.
I'm a
Come on,
skier.
does he look like a
I'm-
skier?
Yeah, you're like a ski bump.
A ski bump. Nice.
That's what they are.
I take all this abuse. You know,
Yes.
he's been trying to get rid of me for like 15 years.
It's been a long time.
Yeah,
Long,
I
hard
don't think
road.
it's happening now.
Well, thank you all for coming.
Life's
Mariana,
been
you're the
boring without
best.
me.
I appreciate you being back there, killing it. And
Thank you,
We'll- we'll-
Skylar, too. Skylar's here.
Yes,
yes,
Skylar.
clap, clap. Yes,
We
all
love
you guys.
Skylar.
And we'll see. We'll put this together and see what comes next. And we look forward to doing more of this stuff.
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.